Brand new segment coming through NRL Fantasy Pimp My Team. Pimp My Team. This is so experimental. The first time we're doing it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. It's going to be scrappy, but the Photoshop's pretty good. I've got to shout out the guys on Discord for that. That's a pretty clean Photoshop. So Pimp My Team, we're going to go through some of the teams that have been sent through. And basically these teams are going to be the guys who are currently on the upgraded version of Discord. Get that one-to-one fantasy advice. I'm going to talk through sort of how I look at some of these teams, how I look at the suggested trades, and what I would be thinking about if I was the coach of these particular fantasy rosters. So first one here, we got Jahu, absolute legend, runs a lot of the Discord. You'll see him on the lives as well. He's there all the time, has great fantasy advice. Jahu's in a good spot, overall rank 4,000. That's a good place to be right now. Looking at the team, we're looking at this team and we're looking at a potential trade here as well. So I'm looking through Harry Grant. I like, keep him for 2 weeks. Jolliffe, Carrigan, McKaylee is fine. McKaylee's a little dicey. Kai Pearce, Paul, Gus Crichton. Again, Kai Pearce, Paul, ring alarm bells as well. Galvin, Hines, Kraz, Iro, Atkinson, Manu, Walsh. Okay, so let's jump right into this, right? So first things first, Kai Pearce, Paul. Right, what are you going to do with him? He is currently on the bench for the Knights. I would give him one more week, is my view on that. I think he could potentially move into the starting side late. I know there's word that Frizzell is in doubt as well, but just worth keeping an eye on. Going to the bench there, so you got Kai Pearce, Paul here. Backup Ryan Madison. He can move into that edge spot. So you've got good coverage there if you do need to use that as well. And you've also got Bateman to trade too. On the back line, so Hines, Galvin is fine. Do you have a backup half is my next question. It looks like Atkinson could be that guy. Plath usually, but Ethan Strange would be the backup half here. Kraz, Iro, Atkinson, Manu, Walsh. So Manu's not named. Who's the backup at wing fullback? Strange is also out. It's going to be Armstrong. Really just Armstrong. Okay, so looking a little bit light in terms of the numbers of players playing right now. I would be looking at, so right now your trade that you got here is Bateman and Chevy Stewart for KO Weeks and Kohler. Frees up a lot of cash. I don't mind that at all. I think it's a good move. It's two guys who are going to make money, play well through the bye period, going to score above their weight a little bit. The other one I'd look at here is potentially moving Sam Hughes on as well. I think your middle and edge spots are a bit vulnerable, so I would be moving Sam Hughes for a Samuela Fainu or someone like that. It's not going to use up all the cash you have there, but it's going to upgrade that ability for you to sort of cover these spots, particularly when, guys like Carrigan, maybe Crichton play Origin. You might be a little bit stuck in that spot as well. So, yeah, I'd look at Sam Hughes to Samuel Alfino as a potential trade. Other than that, I really like the ones you suggested here. Next one here, Riley, absolute legend as well, is moving up the ranks. Had a pretty rough ranking about a month ago, is sort of flying up those ranks now. For your team, Riley, so you've traded Harry Grant, Kai Pearce, Paul out, Kohler and Fafita in. It looks like we're looking at the team's post-trades because I can see Kohler. Can't see Fafita. All right. This is a bit hard to read. Kohler's in there anyway. So what would I be doing for this team? I'd be looking at the starting side. So a lot of green dots. That's good. Smithies, you hold on to him. Back row is nice. Halves are nice. Centers are nice. Wing fullback spot is strong. Dylan Edwards, that's a really nice pod. I know you got on him quite early as well, so that's a good shout. Damien Cook is a massive pod, so that must be one of your later trades. I reckon you brought him in at this stage. Look, he's at a good price, and if he keeps playing 80 minutes, then he's a great shout. They do have the buy in round 13, so worth keeping an eye on, but he's one of the top guns that I'm actually targeting over the next 3 weeks of footy. So I like that. Atkinson, Hopgood as well. Could play Origin. If he doesn't play Origin, you look like a genius here. Sam Hughes, Xavier Wilson, Tom McKaylee, and Plath. I don't think you need to do much else. I think these trades are really good. If you wanted to move someone on, again, I'm a big fan of Fino. So Bateman's out for 8 weeks. Fino's locked into that 80-minute edge roll. I would look at Sam Hughes to Fino. And if that's the advice I give on every single team, then so be it. But I do like that trade a lot. The issue is I know you're a bit light on trades, but Sam Hughes to Fino, I think, really upgrades your team. Sam Hughes is going to decline as Preston moves into his regular minutes. All right, Gun 40L up next. Another absolute legend. I'm going to have to find one that I don't say that about. But so far, all the guys are really cool guys. So look, Gun, Skitters is the team name. 3,600 is a ranking. Good spot to be. some problems to solve in this team, right? So first of all, I see the forward pack. I like the forward pack. I know Tohu Harris has been a bit dodgy the last few weeks, but at this stage, you probably have to hang on to him. My alarm bells are ringing on a few guys here. So Sean Johnson's the first one. Tom Trbojevic is the next one. You've already got Drinkwater, which is fine. He's going to be good. But you've got, John Bateman as well. So the suggested trade you got here is Turbo, Johnson, Bateman out. A lot of cash. To use. Kohler, I really like. Sam Walker, Dylan Edwards. Okay. All right, so Kohler, I'm locked in on. I think that's a really good move. For Sam Walker and Dylan Edwards, Sam Walker is underpriced. I think he's underpriced by about 100K. So I don't mind that. The Roosters have a really good buy schedule. I'm pretty happy with that trade. Dylan Edwards at 800K, it's overs, right? It's very expensive to me. And when I look at Dylan Edwards too, I think that if he keeps playing this well, he might be a threat to play Origin. So what would I do instead? Right, looking through this team, it's a hard one. Like, how do we spend the money, right? A lot of these players that we like the look of aren't playing. Kel Iro, Blaze Talangi. I would be targeting Tungo in a few weeks' time. What could do here? I do like Herbie Farmworth quite a bit as well. But you've already got Ethan Strange there too. You got KO Weeks. You got pretty good coverage in the back line. These trades that you put in are good. I'm pretty happy with these trades. It's just you're gonna have to find a way to spend some cash. That's the thing, right? So 300K in the bank is the dicey part. Where are you going to want to upgrade? Probably in that middle spot. It's probably going to be someone like Fanua Blake, for example. That might be an option here instead. So you could potentially look at going for Fanua Blake instead of Dylan Edwards. I guess Dylan Edwards has that better buy schedule, but could he get picked for Origin? That's the thing. Could really screw you over. I guess you can keep the trades you got here, or you can move to Fanua Blake instead and upgrade that middle section as well, instead of Dylan Edwards, and wait for the Origin period to decide on Edwards at that time. But at the same time, Cleary is out for a while, so Edwards could be a good shout. These are pretty good trades. We'll talk more on Discord. Blade 08. So Bray Blade, Bernie's team. All right, let's have a look at this team here. So we've got one trade completed, Ben Trbojevic for KOX. You've got Grant Thompson. Yeah, so Tommy Hazleton. Love the pod there. That's really juicy. Crichton Blore, Hines Weeks, Iro Blaze. Then we've got Armstrong, Teddy, Nickel Clockstad. Yeah, it's really good. CNK is a bit dangerous this week. He's playing at 6, which could be really bad for his scoring. Then the bench, Willison, Finu, Hughes, Galvin, Strange, Johnson, Sorensen, and Stewart. If you've held Scotty Sorensen this long, you might as well hold on to him. He's on the extended bench for this week. He'll be good coverage for the Origin period, so hang on to Scott. For Sean Johnson, what do we do with this trade? Here's what I'm thinking. You want to... Actually, you know what? I would reverse the Ben Trbojevic trade. I'm thinking about that now. He's named to start 364K. If you held on to Ben Trbojevic this long, you might as well keep him. The move I'm thinking of here is moving Sean Johnson and Chevy Stewart out of your team, buying 2 players with that money. First one, again, I really like Tolotau Kohler. So get Kohler as that first player. That's going to leave you with about 400K plus 2, about 650K to spend. Okay, what would I do with 650K if I was you? See, I like Smithies, but Horsburgh's back pretty soon, so that's a tough one to make a move on. 650K. I mean, who have we got around that price? Let me have a look here. 650K, you could have a look at someone like, I don't know if you could afford Nakora. Nakora's got a really nice buy schedule. I do like that quite a bit. Outside of that, he's about 659K. You could have a look at Bradman Best is there. He's just a little too dodgy. Max King is a decent option. So Max King from the Dogs. Bulldogs have a really good buy schedule. That's probably more the push there, but he could be an absolute weapon for you as well. Yeah, I'd probably be looking at Max King at this stage. I think the middle spot is one where you're actually quite strong. But you could shore that up even further with a guy like King, because I know you've got Leo Thompson has good coverage, Hazleton has good coverage as well. Leo Thompson won't play around 14, but you got that flexibility with guys like Hopgood and Finu as well that can cover both the edge and middle spot there too. And then Scotty Sorensen does that as well. So that would be one option. Another option could be looking at the halves and potentially grabbing someone that's a bit of a pod. So Jerome Luai, for example, he's playing next to Jack Cole, which there's talk. Jay-Z who had on buy, hold, sell. He's very high on that as a big option. I quite like Cody Walker at this stage as well. Cody Walker, since obviously Ilias and Hawkins have gone, he's been dominating kick meters. So I think Walker could be that guy who averages about 45 points. He's at about 495K. You could look at him as well. I'd just be looking to try and get someone who's going to be decent through the origin period and also be a potential scorer for your 17. Because what I'm looking at here is Sam Hughes. I'm not a big fan of him as a starter. I think eventually you're going to want to upgrade Leo Thompson as well. And I think Hazleton at some point will let you down. Blaise Tallingi as well. It's about 3-week window before he steps out too. But by that time, you can buy Isaac Tungo is my advice there. So, Bray, you're in a good spot here. Yeah, your rank's definitely going to rise. Your team is better than your ranking right now. So I reckon you'll keep on rising up the ranks. And hopefully for you, Teddy remains available for the Roosters and Dylan Edwards gets picked for Origin because that'd be prime for your roster. All right, Stags, VSP. I don't know what VSP stands for, but Stags is coming in. I'm assuming Tony Stags fan. So Caden's got a good roster here. Look, Reed Marnie is one of those buys, and we're looking at a team that has made all 3 trades. So I'm going to evaluate whether we keep these trades, whether we replace them, whatever it is. All right, first things first, you're down to 12 trades. That's a dangerous place to be. But if you've got good trades to make, I'm all for making them. So you've got Bostock, Coruscant, and Stags out of the team. Reed Marnie, McKaylee, and Kohler into the team. They're good trades. I do like these trades. All right, leaves you in a spot where middle, you've got McKaylee starting. Do you have a backup in the middle? Plath is okay. So Plath is your starting middle. Don't mind that. Gus Crichton. Again, Willison. Is Willison your week-to-week starter on the edge? It looks like he is. That's dangerous. I would be thinking about how can you get a guy who could potentially shore up that spot for you. One thing I'm thinking about here too is Reed Marnie, right? So maybe rethink Reed. Actually, I'm rethinking a few things here. Here's my advice for you. Reed Marnie is a dangerous one for you to get. So round 13, you've already got Jaden Braley, who's going to be that starting hooker for you. You can only play one hooker in round 13. So in those major buy rounds, round 13, 16, 19, you can only play one player from that spot. For Reed Marnie, he's playing that game as well. So one of these guys is not going to count as a scorer for you. Now, the downside to that plan is that means you can't sell Coruscant for the next 2 weeks because Braley obviously isn't playing next week. So you kind of do need a hooker. What would you do instead? So if you didn't sell Coruscant, you got 74K. You could do, here's where I'm starting. Bostock and Stags out, keep Coruscant, and buy Finu and Kohler. I think that's a pretty good trade pair. And then you keep Coruscant as that hooker, and you keep Braley in your hooker spot as well. I just don't think you need the 2 hookers. The other thing I'm thinking about here is how do we get a trade going for someone on the edge back row spot? So your edge back row is a little bit too weak for my liking. The challenge here, though, is what do you do here? Because I want to try and find a way to get Nakora into your team as well. You can keep these trades. It's a bit of a waste in round 13 to have the 2 hookers. Who do you want to sell? We got Blaze there. It's a tough one because you got a really nicely structured roster, right? So you got a lot of guns, a lot of cheapies. I think I'm going to stick with this trade. I think Bostock and Stags for Kohler and Finu, and you save a trade, is a good move this week. Finu fixes up your edge back row spot. You don't want to rely on Xavier Wilson for that spot. And then Kohler obviously plugs into your back line, which is something you need as well. You've got Joey Manu to come back soon. Plath comes back soon. Pia Kura can be a loophole. And then you could potentially look at moving Chevy Stewart if you wanted to, but I don't think there's anyone super worth moving him to right now. So they're the two trades I recommend for you, Stags. All right, Judge up next, another legend. So for Judge, someone's team, again, rising up the ranks. Okay, we're looking at a team that has just brought in Alex Twal. So you got Dave Fafita, Alex Twal, and Tolta Kola in, Cleary, Kai Pierce, Paul, and Stewart out. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So Kai Pierce Paul the Twal is a little risky to do. I would switch those trades around. So first things first, switch the trades around so that Kai Pierce Paul is being traded out for Dave Fafita. And the reason for that move is if Kai Pierce Paul suddenly is named as the starter and Frizzell is ruled out, you'll want to keep Kai Pierce Paul, right? So right now, with the way your trades are set up, you could not reverse your trade Kai Pierce Paul for 12. Because if you did, you only have 5K spare. So you actually couldn't afford to get Kai Pierce Paul back because 12 is so much cheaper than KPP, right? So I would move those trades around, make it sure that Kai Pierce Paul is being traded for Dave Fafita. In terms of the trades themselves, so Cleary, KPP, Stewart for Dave Fafita, Twile, Collar. Fafita will be a little dodgy through the origin period. I don't like him as a buy right now. I would go for someone a little different to him. Looking at your team here, if you're going Twile. Okay, let's see. So the middle forward's strong with that trade. The back row is strong. If you're a head-to-head player, I don't mind this trade, by the way. But if you're an overall player for Fafita, you can't get him right now. He rests a lot through the origin period. Halves are good. Centers are fine. Outside backs look pretty good for now. Yeah, Harry Grant on the bench is nice. Crichton. I would be thinking about moving Salmon on instead of KPP. I think you probably need the scorers right now. I think KPP's got some value for you. So if you move Salmon on instead of KPP, you go down about 200K. That would mean that you'd have to move off the feeder of 12 to one to justify. I'd be trying to look towards, and again, I'm going to Sammy Finu, but I think Samuel Finu is just a red hot option right now. He's guaranteed that 80 minutes because Bateman's out for 8 weeks, right? So I would switch 12 for Finu and try to switch for feeder for Adam Fanua Blake. I think the numbers I think we're a bit short on those numbers working. Something like that is where I'm thinking you might have to go someone cheaper than Fanua Blake. That's the issue. So you might have to find another gun to buy. We talk about a few of those guys and buy, hold, sell, but that's where I'd be thinking. Keep Kai Pierce Paul, sell Salmon instead. Salmon is going to really tank it. And skip for feeder. Twal, up to you. You can even replace Fafita with Fino, for example, right? And then save a bit of cash instead. It's just the issue is you're quite low on trades as well. So yeah, for KPP, I'd be holding on to him. Just give him this chance this week. If you are going to trade him, make sure you trade him for someone you can reverse the trade on. All right, Jakey 07. So Jake, another nice rank in the 4,000s there. Good spot to make a leap. All right, let's have a look at your team here. Okay, you got a good roster, good forward pack. Xavier Wilson, I wouldn't want to rely on, but you got Paddy Carrigan on the bench. So you're fine in the middle forward spot. Back row's good. Halves are very mean. Centers are fine. The wing fullbacks are really good. Garrick's nice cover for center. Yeah, you're covered across the board. Okay, so what you want to start doing here is sort of consolidating a bit, right? So Jamin Salmon is a sell. Finafuyaki is a sell. Keanu Keeney, did you buy him or did you hold him all this time? Because that could be either. Yeah, I'd be looking at trying to go, all right, what do I do here? So I move Salmon on, I'd move Finafuyaki on. I think this is the week just to go sort of a bit sideways with them. So you've already got Finer, who I like. I'd be getting Tolotau Cola. It's one of the first options there. And then looking at a pod, so looking at how much cash you have left and thinking about some of these guys that we talk about in buy, hold, sell. So I'm just having a look at some of these names I've got on my list, but someone like, if you have the money, like a Herbie Farmworth, for example, I'm a big fan of this week. Really good buy schedule. You could jump on someone like a Dom Young as well at that similar price point. You could look at Ryan Madison if you want to take a gamble and shore up that middle forward depth. Maybe a Cody Walker, Jerome Luai. These guys are sort of mad dog options as well. Do you have him? David Armstrong is actually a really good option for you too if you need someone cheaper. But they're probably the main guys I'd be thinking about if I was in your position. So Salmon Funafuaki out, Cola in, and one of those guys I've just mentioned there. Just DM on the Discord if you have any questions about those players or anything like that. We'll elaborate on that. But I think you're in a good spot. Your team looks really good. I'm very happy with this roster. Just a bit of consolidation doing some of these cash cows. Actually, you got KO weeks as well. Yep, you're all sorted. All right, where kid. So, where kid, let's have a look at your team. It's probably a bit small for you guys, so I'll just quickly have a look at it here. But Max Plath in that starting spot. Your backup middle forward is Sam Hughes. Okay, there's the first disaster. So we need to build something in the middle. Then we're gonna get semi-final as well. Damn, that's the hack I'm sort of taking with everyone. Blore, Crichton, Hines, Galvin. Farmworth, nice. You jumped on. Love it. Rate it. Okay. Then Manu, May, Cobbo, Kai Pierce, Paul, Brayley. Yeah, okay. I'd be looking at trying to move on from some of these guys. So again, Jamin Salmon, Jerome Hughes. Go grab Cola. That's an easy option. You could potentially look at selling Selwyn Cobbo as well. And the reason I say Selwyn Cobbo instead of Taylor May is because of this Origin period coming up, right? So Cobbo's going to play Origin. Broncos don't have Reynolds. I reckon there's going to be a bit of resting Selwyn Cobbo. The trades you proposed here are interesting. So you've got Salmon, Piakura, and Pierce Paul out. Weeks, Bailey Simonson, Britton Nakora in. Okay. Kai Pierce Paul, if he stays starting, is better than Nakora. That's my one reservation with these trades. And there's a chance that he does. The Titans matchup is good too. I'd be probably looking more at, I don't know, what middles are even available at that price point. It's pretty dodge. I just don't trust Sam Hughes as your starting middle. Bailey Simonson, look, the sign's been good. The signs have been good. He's been in really good form the last couple of weeks. So I don't mind that as a wild card pick. It is a real wild card though. But you need to get Cola. You definitely need to get Cola. Could you? Okay, here I fixed the trades. Here we go. So Salmon and Piakura out for Weeks and Simonson. I don't mind that. Pierce Paul for Nakora. Scrap that. Keep Pierce Paul. Move. Okay, that doesn't work. Oh yes, it does. Okay. Move. You can move Xavier Wilson on or Sam Hughes. It's sort of your call on these guys. For Tolotau Cola. I think you need Cola. 7 weeks with no turbo. He'll be at fullback. I would move one of those two out. And I'm leaning towards Sam Hughes because I think Xavier Wilson will be more effective through the Origin period. But Sam Hughes has a better buy schedule. So that's kind of up to you. There's plus and minus to both. It's going to depend a bit on Origin selections and injuries and these sorts of things, right? So it's hard to predict, but one of those two. So you're replacing the Pierce Paul trade with Sam Hughes or Xavier Wilson out for Tolotau Cola. All right, Baden, great roster here, great screenshots as well. These are nice ones. All right, so Kenny's Tree comes in. Kenny's Tree, that's such a good team name. Kenny's Tree comes in. You must have known you were going to be on this. So Robbo, and just a reminder, guys, too, by the way, we do the one-to-one sort of fantasy coaching as well. We have those upgraded groups. In the announcements tab of Discord and the welcome newbies section, I'll put that link in there as well so you can see how to upgrade. But we're going to be doing a lot of these videos for everyone who is in those higher tiers as well. We go through. So Big Bad Kenny's Tree. All right, let's have a look at this team. So first of all, Plath is in the starting side. Who's the backup middle? The backup middle is Smithies. All right, yeah, cool. Smithies, Cotter, Carrigan, Plath. That's the same middles as I have. The Robson, I've also got him too. So we've got a pretty similar roster in that way. Crichton, Pierce Paul. All right, who's the backup for Pierce Paul? Sean Blore. You're in a good spot there. Galvin Hines, Iro, Garrick, and then we've got Teddy, Trebojevic, Armstrong. Trebojevic is going to have to go as well. Bateman's going to have to go from the bench, and then Bloor, Brayley, Piakura, Salmon, Weeks, Smithy, Stewart. Okay, so you've suggested a few trades here. You've gone Turbo, Salmon, and Bateman out. Kohler, Fino, and Nikori in. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good set of trades. The Nakora fixtures and buy schedule is really good right now. So, yeah, I think these are great trades. You save yourself 200K in the bank. We don't necessarily want to save cash, but I think with the trades you've made, you're getting some of the better scorers right now. So that'll mean that Kohler will slide right into your starting side at the wing fullback spot. Maybe KO Weeks can come onto the bench as well. Fino can come in. He can start over Plath there too, or Smithies can do that job as well. Yeah, you're in a great spot. I think the trades you suggested there are fantastic. They fix your team completely. I'm sure you'll be in a pretty good ranking, and it'll rise through the Origin period with the look of this roster as well. All right, guys, that is Pimp My Team for the first time. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this segment. I'll put the link to the Discord as well, so you can join there too. If you like this, let me know. If you've got any feedback, let me know as well. We're going to make this more and more dynamic. I'm sort of pondering as well, potentially having it as a live video with different people's teams, and we can talk about them, or maybe even having a few people on and we can debate the different teams as well. We're thinking about different ideas. So anything you've got there, if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know, but less enthusiastically. Anyway, Pick My Team. That's done. Peace out, guys.